Hello, family of light. I am absolutely overflowing with joy. Today is absolutely mind-blowing and I want to share that energy with you. So if you are just joining and coming into the room, please say hello. I'm gonna get a drink and we will start. Today is so huge that I was crying from joy and gratitude and I couldn't stop. And it doesn't matter how I was expressing, channeling and releasing this huge amount of joy and magnificence through journaling, through grounding, through praying, through meditating in the front of a sea on the beach. It was still so much flowing through me. I called my best friend in Scotland and I shared with her. I came back home and it was still so much flowing. I shared it with Andrea and I'm gonna keep on sharing it with you. It is mind-blowing the capacity for the love and joy we can actually allow ourselves to receive, and what it happens with it, it only makes us expand, create more and more and more of magnificence. So if you are entirely new over here, my name is Eliza Mozal. I am an energy coach, spiritual mentor. I help people expand their energy, their frequency to their highest potential for this chapter of their journey so they can manifest their own heart's desires, their own soul pathway of being and living. And this content is very potent. This content is very high frequency. So if you are at the space, at the spot, at the place in your life, on your journey where you know, okay, I am all into this journey. I am all into taking action. I know half measures veil does nothing. I am going on 100% into it. I'm doing my best in all of that. I am here full in, full on, and I crave to expand and grow and heal and express more of my truest self. This video is exactly for you. So if you have been a part of my Inner Child masterclass that I have hosted last week, which turned out to be phenomenal success, you will know by now how extremely important it is for us to approach our joy, to approach the ways, our childlike often ways, in which we are connected with a pure joy frequency. These are the ways that made us joyful and excited and happy in our childhood. And whether we get to do them in childhood or not, it is our job right now on this part of our journey to bring that into our day, to bring that into our expression and into our existence. And if you have not had a chance to join Inner Child, you still have few days until Friday to sign up, subscribe to the link that it is attached in the video and receive the recordings. I will turn off the availability to watch them for free on Friday, but until Friday you have abundance of time to watch them, rewatch them and learn from them as much as you can so you can connect on a much deeper level with yourself and in your deepest relationships with yourself and with another. So we only can connect with others as deeply as we can connect with ourselves. And also we can only meet other people at the place as deeply as we can meet ourselves. So that was the main theme of Inner Child, and it had actually created, because there is over 80 people that signed up for it already, it created many phenomenal transformations. I was mind blown after first day, and it were 3 of them, that people were just going through phenomenal shifts, and they heard and received the information and energy about inner child healing and perception of it that they didn't heard it before anywhere else. So this is just beautiful. And I wanted to share with you because our truest expression comes through joy. That's our truest expression. Energetically speaking, one of the reasons is that the joy is very wide, very wide, very wide, very wide energy. So guilt and shame is the lowest frequency because it's spinning in the lowest way. So guilt and shame is very tiny frequency. Joy is very wide, meaning if you want to raise your frequency, the expansion goes not just upwards, it goes all of the sides. It goes 360. It doesn't feel any longer contracted like in the lowest frequency. But when we are in joy frequency in those highest expressions, it doesn't mean we don't actually ever feel guilt and shame. We do feel them, but we experience them in a different way. We no longer are so tiny and so contracted that the only thing we can truly feel, it's actually not feeling, it's running away from feeling it, because feeling it transmutes it. And we actually then believe we are guilt and shame, so we're running away from it. On the other hand, when we want to grow and expand our frequency, we know our capacity is so wide, we allow ourselves to feel all. So what has happened that I wanted to share with you? What has happened that created this joy? I'll be honest with you, nothing specific happened today to make me jump into joy frequency. I no longer am in a state of being as a reason to the outside cause. I am the cause. I am the creator and I am the creation, meaning I choose and decide which state of being I am embodying here and now and today. And if I am unconscious and if I'm running in fear, in lack, in pain, because I've so run away and I am afraid to feel the stuff I experienced in childhood, there is no way I would be able to feel joy because I'm running away from the lowest frequency also. So I'm staying somewhere like in the middle on that big scale, trying to keep myself safe, but it's actually keeping myself stuck. And I no longer do that. And this is exactly what I'm teaching in my masterclasses, in my masterminds, with the clients that I work on one-on-one and in other courses. We are expanding so wide that there is no more fear that keeps us away from feeling everything we meant to feel. So you can feel it, heal it, and release it in its own time without the hidden agenda. I've got to feel it so it can get out of my life. That's not how it works. But the specifics of it I am explaining in Energy Mastery Mastermind, and I'll talk about it in another video. What I wanted to share with you is that today I chose this specific, very high frequency, very open, very excited and very joyful way of being, to the point that my body could hardly hold it. It was so overflow, and my body's frequency is actually very high. It can hold so much of a high frequency, going in my meditations into very deep state, shaking and still feeling and experiencing in my body those higher dimensions. It was so much of it because I simply chose to be there and do that. Now, that would not happen if I would not go through the uncomfortable thirst, which for me started 7.5 years ago, a little bit over than that. It would not happen. This level of joy and excitement and bliss would not happen if I would not do the things I did 7.5 years ago. And throughout all of this time, this is consistency and how it compounds. And the stuff I did on Saturday and Sunday, this whole last week, was like a huge big Shazam, da-da-da-da-dam, what's going on? Hello everyone, hi. So that's what I came to share with you. I was sitting at the beach this morning. So Let me start this since the morning. I woke up and I could feel the fear that I was working through in the last 2 days. And there's a big reason for me working through that fear. So 2 days ago, I signed up with a coach for a whole year commitment. And I'm not talking about pennies. I'm talking about big big 5-digit commitment. Investment into myself, into my ever growth, into my beautiful emotional intelligence, loving myself so much, and allowing myself to receive someone's guidance, help, and support that I love and adore, and going into it in my own divine pace. What happens straight away a few hours later? Massive amount of fear, old blocks, old limiting patterns are coming up to the surface. Why? Because it is only normal and natural that any moment we get ourselves out of our comfort zone, the old self comes back and pulls you, where the heck you think you're going? Back. Let me pull you to the floor and show you the pain. Normal reaction, not response. Reaction of unconscious person is run away. I don't want to feel it. I'm scared. I made a mistake. Oh no, how can I turn this back? Oh my God. Oh my God, right? The conscious way of processing in a spot, here and now, not when I feel overwhelmed by it, but here and now is, okay, let me deal with it. Let me deal with it. Let's bring all of that mess, all of that crap. Let's look at it. Let's feel it. Let's experience it. Let's make it so uncomfortable that I am sweating. And shaking. Let's go into it to the very depth of it. And you think maybe that takes 5 seconds or 5 minutes. The next day morning, I did what I preach. I did what I preach in my highest level support and other mastermind things. I'm not going to be listing them here and now, but I did exactly that. I ate my own medicine. Sunday morning, I woke up and I dove so deeply into an hour very intensive nervous system healing breath work. And after that, I dove into an hour extremely deep surrender meditation. And let me reassure you, that wasn't me lying down and no, it was screaming, crying, shouting, punching, kicking, releasing, and finalizing trauma cycles that this beautiful investment and stepping up, leveling up so high on my own level brought it up, which again is only normal and natural. If you're choosing to step out of your comfort zone so you can experience something new, it is only normal and natural that you will be paralyzed by fear, anxiety, depression if you are not in this present moment. So I'm dealing with it the best way I know, the way I am teaching my clients to deal with it, the way that worked for me for absolutely years, works for many others, the way that is most phenomenal, and I dive all into it. That's why the intention for this video was to, if you are all into this work. Because if you are just partially on your weekends or maybe when you feel like it, you will be getting different results. I have the best results with me are getting people who are all in. I'm scared, I'm terrified, I'm shitting my pants, Eliza, but I want to do it with you. I want to do it. There is no way of me turning back. There is no way of me living my life the way I lived so far. This thing has to happen right now. Let's do this. Let's cry together. Let's scream together. Let's do this together day in, day out. So that's why people who are having this similar approach, I am all into it here and now. I want to do it with you. I love your energy. That's why it works the most. That's why I had this energy. And this is the way I operate also. That doesn't mean I am on a running mode 24/7. That's actually the opposite. It's all about the seasons and the waves. I'll be teaching that on the next mastermind. So I'm so excited to bring this high frequency information that helped me finally close the door to the depression that always had the door open, because I could not understand the seasons of life, or even the concept of tuning in with my own needs and desires for this specific day and take them as a priority. As a priority, not someone else wants me. And I spoke about it in Inner Child, so you can go there and rewatch it and take notes and get yourself fully present so you can fully receive it. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you how you show up for this beautiful container. How do you choose to show up for yourself when you listen to this high frequency value? You've got to love yourself enough to become present, to put the phone down or the laptop, take notes, sit in presence, being present in your body while you allow yourself to receive it. You cannot cook, clean, and wipe something and in the same time expect yourself to receive fully from what's here. You got to be present in your body. You got to love yourself enough to slow down. Take a deep, loving breath into your lungs and ask yourself, when the last time I did it? Like, come on, let's be honest, when the last time I actually paused and remind myself that I love myself and I let my heart and my body know I love you, I appreciate you. Thank you for processing for me the food, the light, the sun, the water. Thank you for loving me back. Thank you for taking me everywhere, that I ask you to take me. So this is what I've been doing. And I was shocked yesterday afternoon. Of course, I was still living my life, enjoying my beautiful family, enjoying our time together, going into different places and enjoying my time with myself also, giving myself so much space that I needed in which I can process it all and unfold, not running around. But in the same way, don't shut myself away from life, from my passion business, from my beautiful family. And yesterday afternoon, I sat down and I was speaking to Andrea, my beloved, and I realized, oh my God, I am absolutely mind blown. How many deeply rooted patterns I got from my mom, from my dad, and I myself repeated and embedded into me for years, until I was maybe 38, 37, that I released it through the roof in just 24 hours. I was mind blown. When I realized that on the afternoon, what have I chose to do? I chose to give myself even more. I went on the beach because I created this life where I have so much space and access to the most beautiful things. And I went to the beach and I sun gazed for at least 10 minutes, bare eyes on the sun going down until it goes down and it's below the water. You cannot see, but it's still light and beautiful. I read my favorite book and I allowed myself to just soak it up. Oh my God, I love myself so much. Lordy Lord, I don't care what's gonna happen in 5 minutes from now on. All it matters is here and now and me being present here and now in a specific energy that I'm choosing. Processing what wants to flow and be released, seeing it, facing it, don't deny it, take responsibility, full-on responsibility for myself, for my energy, for the energetic signal I am sending into the world, and correct it if there is something that it is not in alignment with the feeling of the wish fulfilled that I have designed for myself. So I've had a phenomenal night. Even if I stayed up late, I still woke up so early. I did amazing morning routine. I did amazing breath work, amazing meditation. I think I did three or four smaller ones in a row. I've got myself, I spent my morning lovey cuddly time with my family, and I got myself to the beach at the sunrise. And I get to again had a quality time with me, so I can check in with myself, so I can show up in this world in the way I am choosing to be, not the way my old programming tells me I should be, because that's what I am hooked on. Because there is such a thing as addiction to feeling small, an addiction to sadness, an addiction to depression, an addiction to being constantly wounded, because that's the only time I receive love and help and support. Look at your addiction, guys. Be honest with yourself, and this is how you start mastering your energy. How do you start creating your best possible life ever? By facing where you are here and now and taking full-on responsibility for who you are, how you feel, and how you express yourself. We are the creators and the creation of our lives. And I sat at that beach and I started crying and wobbling after this, like, oh my God. And I started journaling to process that energy. Oh my God, the amount of joy and pure happiness, pure gratitude that flows through me right now is unbelievable. I can feel it in my ribs. I feel it flowing through my feet and my head everywhere. And 2 years ago, I decided enough is enough. I was in Scotland living in debt, second lockdown, that it wasn't looking like it's gonna, go away forever. It definitely was promising another one coming, and it was my birthday going to happen in few days' time. I couldn't see anyone around. I couldn't meet up with other people, but I had to go to work and be literally shoulder to shoulder to another person in a tiny room without a window. Because that was the reality that I manifested for myself back in the day. Was it a bad reality? No, it wasn't. I was overflowing with gratitude. Was it in the highest alignment and expression of my soul? And who Eliza Mozal came here to be in this chapter? No. It was a transition to another chapter. What is the transition you are in right now? How do you truly feel with you? Do you truly feel you are in your highest soul expression right now on this chapter of your journey? Because I've never felt the way I feel right now. Never felt so limitless. There is no part of old me that it comes up to the surface. Thank God for that. It is no longer hidden. I can do something with it. And I am powerless over it. It is not. That's an entirely different story 8 years ago. That's an entirely different story 5 years ago. Not now. Are you actually in the highest alignment with your soul's calling on this chapter of your journey? Because there is nothing wrong with feeling sad and in pain. The question is, what are you doing with it? And it is not about fighting your way through it, trying to get rid of it. Can you finally, first time in your life, allow yourself to feel it? If you are not it, if you are more than that pain, why would you run away from it? Maybe it is time to approach everything in an entirely new way. This is the question for you to ask you. And if you are all into this beautiful spiritual energy work and being the wholeness that you came here to be, you will start practicing being honest with yourself. And that has nothing to do with inspiration, motivation, and procrastination. This is, if you need inspiration, motivation, you feel like you're procrastinating, you're simply doing what you're not meant to do. It's trying to force yourself to be somewhere else you are not. That you cannot do that without first being where you are at. So this is what I did 2 years ago. I realized, oh my God, I am in that shit show. I'm gonna spend my birthday on my own, my 39th birthday, on my own, without friends or family, in a foreign country. Scotland was my home, but I was birthed in Poland, and that's where where was all my family. I'm gonna have to spend it all on my own. No people around me, no celebration, no hugs. I love hugs. You don't have to give me gifts. I can get them for myself. But I love a hug. I love an appreciation, quality, heart-to-heart time with another. I love that. I love that for my birthday. I love to go to cinema on my birthday. I love to go for a tiny little cafe date on my birthday with my close ones. None of it. And I had to break the law against restrictions to drive away, to not be in my own home, locked like I was for the last months, apart from just going to work and home and queues in the markets for toilet paper, to go and have a beautiful freedom time at the beach as a treat from me to me on my birthday. And after that birthday, which is going to happen in a few days' time, it's entirely different this time. I said to myself, never again. It is my job right now to make sure that that birthday will never happen again. I actually didn't say it out loud, but I felt it inside. I prefer to not have any more birthdays. If it is again in lockdown, again on my own, and I have to break the law to be in nature. You cannot take me from nature. You cannot take me away from nature. You cannot. I knew it, my time in UK is coming to an end. Because if someone tells me I cannot be in nature, you're messing up with a wrong person. I'm going to place myself where I am free to be in nature whenever I want, as long as I want, in any shape and form. And that's what I did. I had no idea what's going to happen. All I did after that birthday, I surrendered. I stopped posting. I stopped doing anything for anyone. It was only me creating space for me. Surrendering and practicing the trust muscle and going deeper and deeper into my heart and just being. Meaning feeling everything it needs to be felt. Right? Someone else, my analytical mind wanted me to go and take new actions and do this and this and that. No. First I had to allow myself to do everything opposite way. And I did it. And within a month my whole life started changing. All of a sudden I see from divine in the front of me that specific person that I didn't know it existed. Since the first time I seen her picture, I knew it. Oh my God, I got to follow this thing. I got to follow wherever it's gonna take me, and I got to stay open. And I did. I hired a coach. I got myself in the middle of a mastermind where I was felt, seen and heard, and I expressed myself against my fear and insecurities. And I fell in love. Within 5 months, I created a whole new life for myself, where I couldn't do that for 4 years before. Constant action, I couldn't do it. Within 5 months, I created what I couldn't do for 4 years before. Because 4 years before it was action, forcing, pushing, 3D way of doing things. When I will have enough of time, then I can quit that 9 to 5, and I have to do more overtime, and I have to spend more time in that work, and I have to save up more and eat more potato, less fruit because it's too expensive. This and that. It was entirely opposite way. First it was my joy, my freedom, my expansion, and everything else followed. And that's exactly what I did. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. And I created a whole new life for myself. The life you're seeing right now. I can be in nature whenever I want, as long as I want, 2, 3, 5 times per day. Parks, woods, beaches, Florida, warm. This is the best time to be here. The summer kicked my ass. It was so hot. And I couldn't be during the day in nature as much as I wanted. I could, but in the same time I was in transition mode. And that's okay. That's okay. I created a life of freedom, the life that expresses me. Why? Because I went all into following those beautiful suggestions. Because I started feeling that, oh my God, there is something within me that will never allow me to just settle for okay. Oh my God, I came here for something more. And now I know what is it. It is for me to help everyone who comes to me on my way, in the front of me, to help them expand. Instead of contracted, expand, so they can step into their sovereignty, their empowered frequency, and create from their heart's desires. No longer contracted in fear, in shame. Let me hide, let me run away. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next month, maybe next year. No, here and now. If this is you, let me know in the comment section. I'm looking forward to say hello to you. I am going to close this thing right now. I'm going to head up and enjoy more of my childlike passion, which is actually clothing. I don't know if you knew, because I maybe didn't share. I loved so much in my childhood to be in nature, to be surrounded by the nature, to run free, walk as much as I want, whenever I want, as far as I want. But I also, whenever I was indoors, I had Barbies, and I would make them. I remember since I was like 7 or 8, I would sew them the dresses I saw in Dynasty. I don't know if you ever seen the show Dynasty. That's what we had in Poland when I was little. And I would sew them those dresses, like just on my own, like a 7-year-old. And I would make these massive things, like a straight, different style, one strap and all of it. So I have that another passion that I love, because it's just so much joy. It is so much joy to allow myself to express myself in the way I would like to express myself today. And that's the joy of it. I'm going to finish with that. If you received value from this video, let me know in the comments. Be sure you're subscribed to my other platforms, because I'm sharing now everywhere. Instagram, Eliza Mozal. YouTube, Eliza Mozal. Facebook, Eliza Mozal. If you wanna watch or rewatch Inner Child Masterclass, you still can do that until Friday. On Friday, I will turn it off, and it's going to be a paid course you can buy for yourself. You can keep it, you can redo it. And what's happening in the beginning of November, we are starting Limitless Mastermind, which is designed to help people release their own limitations, healing their nervous system, stepping into their empowered version of themselves, that version that doesn't feel held back by your old shadow, the version of yourself that is present here and now in your limitless frequency, going through your soul's path in your own alignment. It doesn't have to be designed by anyone else. It is designed by you only. So you get to choose how your life is gonna look like. How is it gonna feel like? How are you gonna dress? How are you gonna show up today? And I'm going to teach you all of that, and also take you through the process of classes and practicing how to keep on healing your nervous system. Because at the end of the day, our nervous system contracted, overflowing with old unprocessed emotions and trauma. That contracted nervous system holds us back. None of us ever wants to stay stuck. None of us ever wants to stay small and play small. We would love to do it, but if that nervous system is contracted, it will not allow you to even show up for the medicine you signed up for. It will keep on holding you back until you will start approaching from day one that nervous system, turning on sympathetic nervous system, releasing, discharging, expressing, and then turning it off and turning it on parasympathetic nervous system. Relaxation, bliss, ease, flow, joy, creation of who you are choosing to be. So that's what we're going to do. If you would like to join us, the link is assigned here, or send me a private message. It is a journey that you cannot miss out. We have 3 people who signed up and booked their spots already. And if you feel called to address before the end of the year what's been holding you back all this time, this is for you. Thank you for being here. I love you, and I will see you soon. Probably tomorrow on Instagram Live.